You know, sometimes I forget that I have an editor, mostly because I do all the editing on this channel. But that said, over on my main channel, I actually do have an editor, and this video is for her. How's it going, everybody? My name is Suris, and if you're not familiar with my channel, my shtick is making budget commander decks that can dominate tables without dominating your wallet. If that's something you find useful, then please consider subscribing to the channel. Likewise, we are actually going to be making a $20 deck around the commander Freya Crescent, and the reason we're doing that is, like I said in the beginning, I have an editor for my main channel, and the best part about that editor is that she lets me basically forget that videos have to go up on the other two channels that I run. That's To Suris and To Suris Live. Those are the stream channel, the channel where all the stuff for my streams goes, and the channel where I talk about real-world stuff that most of you here probably don't care about. But she takes care of all of that for me so that I can continue working on this passion project over here. So if I can get a quick thank you, K-Fox, in the description, or at least in the comment section, because while she may not edit the videos over here, she does allow me the breathing room to make videos over here at all. So she is kind of the reason y'all get content over here right now in the first place. Without her handling the backbone of the editing on her end, I just would not be able to cover this at all. And this video is actually a gift not just to her, but apparently to her partner. You see, she said that Freya was her partner's favorite character from Final Fantasy IX, so today we're building a deck for them. So let's sit back and enjoy me proving that aggro does still work in Commander, you just don't like hitting people in the schnoz. The commander we're talking about is Freya Crescent, and she is a mana rock. My favorite kind of commander, but a mana rock that only works for equipment spells and casting equip abilities, or using equip abilities. So turn 1, you're going to be playing Freya, and turn 2, you're going to be playing an equipment, and that's basically going to be how everything goes from then on. And the deck is very, very simple. In fact, so simple that most of our cards just say, produce big power for Freya, because our goal is to do 21 commander damage to each person. And, well, each of these cards helps us with that strategy pretty easily. Bloodforged Battle Axe gives 2/0 to Freya, and it can clone itself every time we punch somebody with Freya, which is easy to do because Freya grants herself flying. Brass Knuckles can give Freya double strike if she's got multiple equipment attached to her. Fire Shrieker just gives her double strike in general. Hero's Blade can give her +3/+2, and it automatically equips to her if she ever dies. Golem Skin Gauntlets gives her 1/0 for every equipment that's already on her. Grafted War Gear gives her +3/+2. Wrecking Ball Arm makes her base power and toughness 7/7 and makes her hard to block. The Conformer Shuriken can take an unequipped Freya and turn her into a monster by giving her all the power of whatever your opponents have. Side Quest Play Blitzball gives her a little extra power, but it can flip over to this card that can give her double strike once more. The Mirren Battle Spitter gives her 2/0 and it auto-equips. Ring of Valcast can give her haste and it gives her counters the longer opponents don't deal with her. Bearded Axe gives her 1/1 for every equipment you control. Tenza Godo's Maul gives her +3/+3 and grants her trample, and the Thran Power Suit gives her ward and 1/1 for every equipment that you have on her. Now, the drawback of equipment decks is that equipping cards cost a lot of mana. Thankfully, our commander covers some of that cost with her own tap ability, but we need some other ways to circumvent that as well. Enter Brass Squire and the Blacksmith's Talent. Both of these can make it to where equipping cards is effectively free when we need them to be, and the Blacksmith's Talent doubles as another way to grant us double strike. The Brass Squire's secondary ability, though, is simply being a creature. The weakness of a Voltron deck is being able to sacrifice the one commander you have, so having a few creatures to throw down on the board to block Fleshbag Marauder and Grave Pact is very important for your future survival. Speaking of which, we have a few job select cards as well to give us some extra creatures on the board that can help us survive those types of pact effects. And because these have such high equip costs, we have Brass Squire and Blacksmith Talent to help circumvent some of that as well. Then we have Gilgamesh, Master at Arms, the lieutenant of the deck. When it comes down from your hand, it will immediately grab a bunch of equipments from your deck and throw them on him. It takes the top 6 cards of your deck and lets you yank equipments from there and throw them all on the battlefield. Really, really powerful effect. Great commander in his own right. And because we are a Voltron deck, we need lots of ways to protect our commander, so Mask of Abyssin, Mirror Shield, and Champion's Helm will all grant our commander hexproof. Shunt is another way to protect our commander by letting us redirect any spell that might be aimed at our commander and throw it somewhere else. Then we have the utility spells of Masterwork of Ingenuity to copy any of our important equipments, and the Dominion Bracelet, because sometimes you want to commit a fucking war crime. This is a card called Mindslaver. I know it doesn't look like it, but I promise you, this card is Mindslaver. It gives a creature 1/1, and it gets pay 15 mana, exile this bracelet, control an opponent during their next turn. However, this ability costs X less to activate, where X is our creature's power. So, here's what we're going to do with this. We're going to put it on our commander, and hopefully it draws aggro from somebody trying to kill it instead of our commander. And if it does, cool. If it doesn't, however, we're going to kill player 1 and 2, and then use this to solve Voltron's other biggest problem, killing a single player and then dying to players 2 and 3. If any player tries to do things to us, we'll simply crack the Dominion Bracelet, take over their turn, and aim all of their resources at whichever opponent is left at the table besides us. And suddenly, 2 people will be down a fuck ton of resources, and nobody will have what they need to punch us. That said, it wouldn't be a Voltron deck without ways to get other various keywords, so Boots of Speed gives us 1/0 and Haste, Chariot of Victory gives us First Strike and Trample, Haunted Cloak gives us Vigilance and Trample, the item Shopkeep gives us Menace and also lets us dodge Grave Pact, and Shortbow gives us Vigilance and Reach. That does it for the bulk of the deck, and I promise you the other sections are going to be really short because we're in mono red Voltron aggro. We don't have a whole lot in terms of draw or removal. But we do in fact have some, so let's talk about what we've got. Light Up the Stage is an impulse draw that costs less when our commander punches somebody in the nose. Our Mounted Anchor gives our commander 2/2 and also lets us let it loot twice. Ogre-Headed Helm lets us wheel our hand away and also lets us dodge any Grave Pacty effects and also gives our commander 2/2. The Painter's Studio and Defaced Gallery can give our creatures 1/0, but it can also let us impulse draw. Mask of Memory lets us draw 2 and discard 1 whenever we punch. Rogue's Gloves lets us draw 1 whenever we punch. Demand Answers lets us sacrifice or discard to draw a card. Maggots of the Wheel lets us wheel our entire hand away so we can try again if we need to. Kate Sith gives us repeated impulse draw and the ability to give a creature +X/+O. Zenith Festival gives us a lot of impulse draw with Harmonize so we can cast it twice if need be. Tavern Brawler lets us repeatedly impulse draw and power up our commander, and Invasion of Kaldheim lets us impulse draw a lot while not actually losing the hand we wheel away with it. And now for the most scant part of the entire video, we have only 5 removal spells and a single board wipe because we are aggro and we are committed to the bit. So, we have Abrade and Suplex to get rid of artifacts or creatures, Chainsaw to lightning bolt a creature away while still being a buff card for our own commander, Chaos Warp to get rid of anything else the deck may run into, a Meteor Sword, not a Meteor Golem, a Meteor Sword that gives a creature 3/3 and then blows up any damn thing we need. And if the board's looking a little packed, then a Chain Reaction should clear it all away. We do have a lot of ramp spells for such a low mana cost deck, but you'll see why here in a little bit. You'll notice a bit of a theme. Blade Gryph Aspirant is a creature that lowers the cost of our equipments and equipping abilities, and it lets us dodge Fleshbag Marauders. Guardian Idol, Mannequin, Hedron Crawler, Milkin, Zookeeper Mechan, all of these are creatures that let us dodge Fleshbag Marauders while also giving us good ramp. Then we have the Foundry Inspector, who does that too, while also lowering the cost of all of our 45 5 artifacts down when we need it. Then we have the ramp spells of Diamond Pickaxe and Gold Vein Pick because they give us power to our creature and also let us spawn treasure tokens. Explorer Scope gives us the ability to just grab lands from the top of our deck, so we always have live draws. Iron Crag is a 2-mana mana rock that morphs itself into a giant sword if we play our commander after the Iron Crag, so basically once it dies the first time. And the Beamsdown Beanstick gives our commander 1/0 and Menace, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, we can go ahead and create a treasure token. After that, we're going to be running 27 mountains with a ton of utility lands. Rogue's Passage to make our commander unblockable, Swarm Yard to regenerate our commander whenever we need, Bonder's Enclave to draw when we are out of resources, Demolition Field and Field of Ruin both to get rid of Maze of Ith or Glacial Chasm, Forgotten Cave, Desert of the Fervent, Capital City, and Smoldering Crater as lands we can cycle away if we ever get mana flooded, and a Myriad Landscape so that we can ramp if we desperately need it, and it can thin out our deck of lands as well. And with that said, that's everything that I can think of in terms of what can go in this deck at this budget. So now let's talk about how to play it. Normally, I like going for turn 8, but we're going to go for turn 6 as our attempted win turn because, let's be honest, we are playing an aggro deck. We should be able to manage that. So let's go ahead and draw our opening card, play a mountain, tap it, play Freya, and then go to our opponent's turn. Next turn, we need to go ahead and play a Field of Ruin. We have 3 mana available. Mask of Avacyn, I want to play that right now, but I can't. Maybe it's the Beamtown Beatstick that we play here? Yeah, probably. Tap 1, let's play the Beamtown Beamstick. Tap 2, let's go ahead and put the Beamstick on to Freya. And then we're going to start just whacking people over and over and over and over and over again. Next turn comes up, turn 3, let's play a Rogue's Passage. That's going to put a target on our back, so we're going to get the Diamond Pickaxe out. Tap 2, put the pickaxe on Freya and start using her quickly. Punching an opponent, using the 2 treasures to play the Thran Power Suit. Now we go to our next turn, turn 4. We have a Champion's Helm. Unfortunately, I guess I can use it. Let's go ahead and enter combat, punch somebody with Freya for 3 damage, spawning 2 treasures. Use 2 of those treasures to, or 2, 3. Let's get Champion's Helm out. Let's pay 1, put the Champion's Helm onto Freya, pay 1, put the Boots of Speed out, and then pass to our opponent, and now we're actually in a pretty decent spot. Turn 5 is going to come around. We have the Ogre-Headed Helm. This will be good if we exhaust our hand away. Let's go ahead and pay 1, 2, 3, put the Boots of Speed and the Thran Power Suit on our commander. We are at turn 5, and our commander is hitting people for 11, which means once our commander punches you, you die after a singular extra hit. So we're going to punch somebody for 2, spawn 2 treasures, and let's go ahead. We are protected from any kind of targeting with Champion's Helm, so we need another kind of power. We need to use those 2 treasures to play the Ogre-Headed Helm. The reason we need this is because we need to be able to dodge a Fleshbag Marauder if that may come down, or Rise of the Lich King, or a Grave Pact with a quick Sack of Steve. Anything like that can kill our commander under Hexproof, so we're going to play this to dodge that. Next turn comes up, we get to play a Myriad Landscape, and we have the 3 mana available, so fuck it. Let's go ahead and go 1, 2, 3. Play the Ogre-Headed Helm on our commander, and let's punch somebody for dead. We've eliminated 1 player, and I want a new hand, so let's discard our hand away to draw 3 cards. And now, with the 2 treasures we made from there, when turn 7 comes up, we can just go and start killing players quickly. Use the 2 mana that we just got to play a Gold Vein Pick. Use 1 mana to equip it to our commander. Pay 1, 2, 3 to play the Samurai's Katana. That will give us a, not rebel, but it'll give us a hero to help protect our commander. And we can go ahead and hit another player and tell them that they are 1 hit away from death. And we generate 3 treasures off of that, throwing our hand away and drawing 1, 2, 3 cards. And now that we've drawn a Grafted War Gear, and we used we got treasures off of that. So we can actually go ahead and spend those treasures if we want, but I guess we don't need to. I mean, fuck it. We can just play the Forgotten Cave, so that on turn 8, oh, okay, there's the Golem Skin Gauntlets. There we go. There we go. That wins the game for us no matter what. We can pay 1. Here's the Golem Skin Gauntlets. 1, 2. Equip the Golem Skin Gauntlets to our commander. And then we still have 1, 2. And then we have a couple treasures left over. Let's use those to play Grafted War Gear. Freya's power is now... All right, so according to my math, Freya should have 26 power, 26 toughness. One player's already eliminated. One player is breathing their last. We can go ahead and eliminate the player who hasn't taken any combat damage yet at all, and they should be down for the count. We generate a bunch of treasures off of that. We discard our hand, draw 1, 2, 3, and now we can use the treasures that we just got in order to play a blacksmith's talent. And fuck it, there we go. We are set. We are set. We can play a Demolition Field to get rid of a Maze of if need be. I think we're in a really, really, really good spot here. If we can eliminate a player on turn 6 and we can get 2 players gone by turn 8 with 1 dead, no matter what we do, if our commander dies and comes right back, we can just use a Rogue's Passage and make our commander unblockable. That player dies if they can't kill our commander, and they need a board wipe in order to do that because it's got hexproof right now, and they can't just Fleshbag Marauder us because we have a token out. We are protected on that front. I think we're in a good spot. So this part gets kinda awkward because most of the cards that I want to recommend for upgrading this deck fall into a couple of weird categories. You see, there's the first category, which is the Sword ofs, in which case there's a lot of Sword ofs. Wealth and Power, Body and Mind, Feast and Famine, all these are great, but they run into a huge problem. We can't actually play any of the ones that say protection from red because they would make any of our red equipments fall off. And there are equipments like Two-Handed Axe that I want to add in because Double Strike is the key to making this deck function, and we just don't have a lot of Double Strike without access to cards like this, and they cost like $2.50, and that's outside the price range for this kind of deck. So I want to run the Sword ofs, and if you want to run the Sword ofs, go ahead, but just understand that you are limited in the Sword ofs you can play because of the kind of deck that it is. Speaking of Double Strike, though, I'd also like Leyline Axe and Genji Glove, both outside of the deck's price point, but both really, really powerful. I also really like Nettlecyst. It gives us a card that can dodge our opponent's Plaguecrafters actually get dodged by this. The only thing it doesn't dodge is a Cursed Marauder in terms of protecting us from Fleshbag type effects, but it does still do a lot of work for equipping our commander with a lot of power. We can also add in a Darksteel Plate to give our commander indestructible, a Sword of the Animist, and a Bitterthorn Nissa's Animist as 2 ways to get lands out of the deck and thin the deck out really well. The deck needs more draw, so Buster Sword's a great way to do that, but at $34, your mileage may vary. And Swiftfoot Boots is great, but I would recommend not running the Lightning Greaves because it is harder to get a Lightning Greaves off in a deck that only has like 20 creatures total if you count our tokens. But if I had to pick one card to grab first, it would be Excalibur Sword of Eden. This automatically makes our commander hit for half lethal damage once you get this on the commander. +10/+10 and Vigilance means we can block and punch with impunity. This thing is beautiful, but again, at $14, you probably only want to get a handful of upgrades, and this one is basically the cost of the whole fucking deck at this point, so again, your mileage may vary. But with that said, that's everything I can think of in regards to this deck. I've had some requests for it in the past, but I'm going to be honest, my editor asking for it 100% incentivizes me to make it way, way faster. I do want to make another note. I feel like red is probably one of the weakest colors when it comes to MDFCs, so it's hard for me to recommend anything other than Valgate Awakening for upgrading this deck in that section. Just a side effect of it being a mono red deck. It just doesn't have as many options as I'd like. That said, hopefully you still enjoyed, and if you decide to play this deck, let me know how it goes in the comment section below. But honestly, it's a Voltron deck. You can't go wrong with just punching somebody in the nose really, really, really hard. As always, if you want to purchase this from Mana Pool, there will be a link in the description below. If you've never used Mana Pool before, my link gets you $5 off, but if you have used it before, it still helps support the channel and what I do, and like my editor, helps me continue making content for all of you. That said, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you all in the next one.